This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13, and it reads, And the Lord said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashah Barazar from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the hopeful elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, I'm going to go through the scripture once again. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 13, and it reads, And the Lord said, Even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. And where we've been driven, according to the curses, we were driven unto every nation under heaven for the transgression of the laws, statutes, and commandments, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through 68. And that particular verse is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. We were driven unto every nation under heaven because of our transgressions, and not in our homeland of Israel that is currently being warred over. Well, actually, one nation is being slaughtered at the hands of the Israelis that are not the same as the Israelites, okay? That is not the same as the Israelites of the 12 tribes, all right? That is Amalek in that land, impersonating the 12 tribes of Israel. As a matter of fact, all 12 tribes are not there. As it says in the scriptures, they would be in the homeland, and there is nothing in the scriptures that talks about the true children of Israel to returning to the homeland via a Balfour Declaration. All right, but we are not home right now. Your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We have been exiled, like I said, because of the curses, and serving out our punishment not only here in America but other places as well. You know, we're in the wilderness, and the wilderness is not being at home. Okay, we're not at home. All right, but in any case, I'm going to get into several videos here regarding, um, um, you know, what's going on with the food right now. And it's not a very good thing. All right, it's not a good thing at all. So without further ado, let me get to those videos. All right, and before I do that, since I am borrowing clips from other sources, um, this is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, and it reads, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right. So without further ado, let me get to the first video. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up right there. That's not good. Lab grown meat. No way.
lab-grown meat that is 3D printed into the shape of a steak. Scientists swear by it, but the controversial part is that not enough testing has been done on it to fully understand its long-term side effects. The meat itself is grown from real animal stem cells that were replicated in a process called culturing. So far, all types of meat, from beef to even fish, has been 3D printed. Some are hailing this as the next great revolution that will solve all of the world's problems. But many are understandably skeptical. Growing meat in a lab would eliminate the need to raise and slaughter animals, which in turn lowers our carbon emissions and frees up a lot of land. This type of meat can also be produced on a massive scale and contribute to the end of world hunger. However, this technology is new and unproven. It takes decades of testing to fully understand the unseen side effects of lab-grown meat. And even if it is proven to be healthy, would people be willing to eat it? Remember, we didn't know the harmful effects of cigarettes until centuries after people began smoking them.
Americans ate 75 billion pounds of red meat and chicken last year, but what if some of that meat was not raised on farms, but instead of high-tech facilities? Scientists say that could be good for the environment and your health, and soon it could be on menus and store shelves. This morning, the USDA has approved cell-cultivated meat to be sold to the public for the first time.
So that's where it all starts, just a few cells.
2 cultivated meat producers now getting the green light to begin commercially selling their chicken, not raised on a farm, but in a facility. The meat is grown using real animal cells and large bioreactors fed with nutrients. I recently got a tour of California-based Upside Foods, the nation's first and largest cultivated meat producer. You're making chicken in there.
Yeah, so if you look at this is approximately a 200 plus liter tank. And we take cells from a chicken or an egg. It takes 2 weeks to grow the equivalent of 1 chicken, 1,000 chickens, or 100,000 chickens.
So you're saying in this factory you can make more meat faster and cleaner than an average farmer?
Well, ultimately, yes.
The company says cell-cultivated meat could help feed the world's booming population using a fraction of the land and water of animal farming and help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Many experts say more study is needed. I got to try this cell-cultivated chicken at the facility in California, guys. I got to say the texture was a little bit different, but it did taste like chicken. The company says they hope to get it on restaurant menus in the next few weeks, then maybe on store shelves in the next 5 years, and dozens of startup companies are getting in on the game, guys.
You mentioned the texture, so is it more like tofu?
A 4th generation farmer in South Georgia, raising concerns after Bill Gates became the largest individual owner of farmland in America. He's reportedly purchased more than 200,000 acres in 18 states. Well, Will Harris is the owner of White Oak Pastures, a farmer in Georgia. Well, look, I'm almost out of time, and I really have to get to the point as to why you don't think he will use it properly. You don't think we'll produce enough food? Is that it?
I think that the complex system has so many unintended consequences, and those unintended consequences go on the backs of the degradation of our land, our water, our climate, the impoverishment of rural America. We have a very bad food production system today.
Okay.
Well,
All right, you saw it. Man, there's a lot going on in there. But, they say with this lab-grown meat, it's, a faster and better way to help those, the booming population. Well, if, the the scriptures always tell us to be circumspect. All right. In that particular video, they're concerned about the booming population. However, the same person that's buying up all of the farmland has an agenda to reduce the population. Okay, and we know the methods by which he's taking it. Number one, through the uh, juicy juice, as we call it, the items of injection um, to make you better, which we know that's not the case. That there's no beef flowers, and then not too long ago, those Georgia Guidestones came down, which the first commandment was to keep humanity under 500 million to be in perpetual balance with nature. And at the time that was said, there were about almost 9 billion people in the world. So, which meant that almost 8.5 billion had to be done away with. All right, but that's the issue that's at hand. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, and verse 10, and it reads, "A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." And that righteous man is talking about an elect man, the one who's going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, we were originally supposed to be in rulership of this world. Okay, and as the scriptures say in Matthew chapter 6, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Okay, so the laws of heaven are supposed to be governing the earth right now, but we fell out of grace with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai when we disobeyed the commandments. And here we are this day in exile. All right, under this crazy nation of people, Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man, and chiefly run by the tribe of Amalek, who are your so-called Jewish today. Okay, it's no secret that they run and own everything. You know, let's just keep it real. This video may come down, but it's the truth. That's out there. They run and own everything, and finding out that like 84% of Congress, the people that are passing these laws, have dual citizenship with the state of Israel. Okay, which is messed up within itself. Um, you know, this country is is invaded at all levels. Um, by them. All right, but nevertheless, continuing on, that's another subject. The rest of that verse, "But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." Okay, and he's trying to do better in his own mind of saying that this will be better for the people, being able to produce so much for the people. But that's how is that the case when over the last 3 or 4 years, all of these items related to food processing of these facilities, food processing plant facilities, caught on fire. Okay. All right, and it's interesting. I have 2 articles I'm going to flash. I'll put those articles in the description box as well. When you go to search that, this is Reuters. Okay, the article here, I'm not going to read it to get into it, but the title is a fact check. They're saying that food processing plant fires in 2022 are not part of a conspiracy to trigger U.S. food shortages, and that was a little over, almost 2 years ago now. And considering where we are today, that's just not true. Okay, and notice that this article was written on May 4th. All right, like I said, 2022. I'm almost certain there's been more that has happened since then. We know what's happening to the farmland. We know who owns the most of it. Okay, And even in that video, that was old. That number has increased. They're trying to keep it off the internet, but it's up to like 270,000 acres of farmland, if my memory serves me correct. But that was the latest document I can find on it. Okay, so that's what they're saying here, that it's not part of a conspiracy to trigger U.S. food shortages. But if you go to this article by the National um, Fire Protection Agency Journal, this is written May 2nd, 2022. So just 2 days before that Reuters article. And one of the questions down here, I'll put this link in there as well too. It says the truth, however, is that nothing is unusual about any of the fires that have occurred in food processing plants over the first few months of the year, although no data is kept on fires that occur strictly at food processing facilities. The National Fire Incident Report System tracks fires within the broader categories like manufacturing, refrigerated storage, and agricultural facilities. In 2019, the number of fires at all manufacturing or processing plants in the country topped 5,300, nearly 15 a day. Additionally, more than 2,000 fires occurred in agricultural, grain, and livestock and refrigeration storage facilities, which could all include food processing operations. Okay, so now this is going all the way back to 2019, and like I said, I tried to find the number that burned within the last 3 years that we know of, and that number is kind of being hidden. Last I checked, it was on its way to like 150. So uh, give or take a few more after that. I haven't seen much more on the news, but yeah, that's where they are right now. Okay, but here's the thing: why is this non farming person buying up all of this land? Okay, and why is this meat being grown in the lab? You know, um, and the thing is that that's right here in the U.S. Okay, now this is supposed to be a God-fearing country, which by now we know it's not. We know Babylon the Great is nowhere near believes in the God of the Bible, even though who was it? Ronald Reagan, via executive order, I believe it was a proclamation number 5018 on February 3rd, 1983, declaring the Bible the law of the land. Yeah, we know that was, you know, they were being hypocrites with that. All right. But in any case, in the book of Leviticus chapter 11, as well as Deuteronomy 14, it tells us the clean meats and the unclean meats. Um, the clean meats we're supposed to have in our diet, and the unclean meats we are not supposed to have in our diet. Okay, in both cases, those are natural animals, the clean ones as well as the unclean ones. Okay, of course, the children of Israel are not supposed to touch the unclean ones anyway, but those are animals that are naturally born. Okay, not created in a lab. You're not supposed to have those. Okay, but once again, like I said, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He really thinks he's doing something to help the people when it's only making them worse, in terms of health. And when we know when they control everything, the food industry, the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, um, it's a no-win situation. That's why the children of Israel need Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai right now, right now. You know, as you see now, that like the scriptures say, the days be shortened for the elect's sake. Okay, there will be no flesh saved. Let me get that. That's in Matthew 24. so I won't butcher it. All right. Matthew chapter 24, verse 22, and it reads, and these are the red letters, so these are the words of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, all right, Hamashiach, and it reads, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And why are they shortened? Because like Revelations 12 and 12 says, the devil knows he has but a short time and he's going to come down with great wrath. All right. And we see that coming in 2024. I mean, everything is in place for these end time prophecies. World War III, the MOTB, or the micro C to the hip. All right. M to the B to the east. Okay. The mark, M to the arc. We got a lot of code names for it, but M to the arc to the B to the east. That's everything's ready. And ready to go. And like we were just saying not too long ago. We got to wake up out of sleep. Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. And if Jake not seeing this at this point in time, it's it may as well be a wrap for him. We know the Lord will what can wake a person up at the last minute, but man, everything's happening right now. All right, and yeah, because this dude is, there's no end with him. He is not going to stop being wicked. That's the way he was made. According to Malachi 1 and 4, he is the wicked. That is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, with the chief nation of the so-called white man being Amalek, the so-called Jewish. Okay, let's just call it for what it is. We don't have any fear of of what you're gonna do. None whatsoever. All right, it's not there. We are going to tell the truth. The scriptures tell us to tell you the truth in your face, and then let the world see the lie that you are. Time is up. All right, this is Proverbs 29 and 2, and it reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And that's exactly what's going on right now. Okay, the righteous are the true children of Israel. There's nobody rejoicing right now. The air, the water, the food, everything is destroyed because of you. Okay, everything is destroyed. All right, and that's what it means by when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Nobody's happy right now. All right, and you can tell, even with these pagan holidays that people have celebrated for years, we know the mirth of the land is gone. Okay, there's no joy on this earth right now. All right, the people are mourning. All right, and that's just the way it is. That's what it's supposed to be. But for the elect, we're watching the signs. We're being circumspect. Okay, we know these things are going to come to pass. We know it's going to get worse. Okay, that's why we stay prayed up, individually and as a unit. When I say unit, the brotherhood, especially the brotherhood of GMS, doing what we're supposed to be doing. All right, keeping order, keeping this word out there, being out on the highways and byways week in and week out. All right, doing these video epistles. All right. So yeah, the people are mourning right now. This is Proverbs 4 and 16. For they sleep not, and it reads, Slakia, book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 16, and it reads, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And that's just the way Esau, Edom is. Okay, look at what's going on. Look at that. That who eats meat like that? You know, the digestive system is not set up to handle materials like that, especially jakes. You know, when I say jakes, that's the children of Israel. You know, that diet in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 is set for a reason. It's clear that food affects us a whole lot different than it does everyone else. Okay, we're the ones with those problems, you know, caused by the food. But however, the Lord said He will not cast His people away, even though we deal with the after effects of consuming those things, whether on purpose or directly. You know, if you're of the elect, the Lord is going to take care of you. All right. But once you understand what's in those foods, you know, you need to stop it. You know, do your best to be as natural as possible. Okay. Everything we have is supposed to come naturally, not manufactured in a lab. Even even the herbs of the earth, that's the medicine for us. Okay. You ever seen a dog get sick? What do? First thing they do, they start eating grass. Even they know that. Okay. So Jake, he can do something to the food, but you have to make the effort to do your due diligence to make sure you're eating as clean as possible, as healthy as possible. You know this man is messed up. According to the curses, you know, we will be in need in one of all things from our enemy, roughly paraphrasing. You know, if you know they disdain you, you know, you have to do your due diligence to make sure you're not caught up, you know, eating the wrong things. And we see what's going on with this food I just showed you in all these videos. All right. And like I said, you know, he's going to keep doing it every which way he can. You know, the air, the food, the water, you know, attack everything we need to sustain ourselves. All right. And while he's doing this, you know, you better learn how to fast too. You know, because it's probably going to get so bad that you won't be able to consume anything. You know, but as the scriptures say, you know, the Lord says, His servants shall eat; His servants will not thirst. Okay, and who are His servants? The prophets. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna close out with this one. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that word woe goes into destruction. Okay? Woe to them that devise iniquity. That's sin on top of sin on top of sin. Okay? And one of the sins that devising iniquity is eating unclean foods. All right? According to our law. All right, and they work evil upon their beds. Okay, again, they don't sleep. They're up all times of night. You know, like that last scripture said, they sleep not unless they cause something to fall. Okay, it's wickedness being conjured up and worked around the clock by this evil man. All right, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, and it says because it is in the power of their hands to do this. How did that power get in their hands? This is Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" All right, and this is a loaded scripture. You know, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, so-called white man, according to Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Okay, who are the judges? You know, that's your elect man. But who is the head judge? Yahweh Shai. How do we know he covered them? Yahweh Shai is described in Revelations chapter 1, verses 13 through 15, as a dark-skinned man with woolly hair. What do they show you? The so-called white man, the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Okay, he is the head judge according to John 5:24. John 5:22 says Yahweh judges no man; he condemneth all judgment to his Son. All right, we know according to Revelations 19:11. He's the one that faithful and true on that horse, that white horse. Okay, which is the chariot. All right, coming in all his glory and power. And what is he bringing when he comes? Judgment and war. Okay, so he is the head judge. All right, and it says, if not, where and who is he? Well, because we know who the wicked is and what they look like. We know where you are and we know who you are. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying for the body. And once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird. Also, your Israelite foreigners, who are also your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala. All right, do your best to eat right, Israel. Do your best to eat right. Shalom.